Okay, so number 11 says select all of the following that are equivalent to the equation y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 16. First clue is select all that apply means there's more than one answer for the problem, so you got to be checking each one to see. Second thing is let's look at the answers to kind of see what they're looking for. I notice A is factored, they take a 2 out. B is also factored, and C and D are in vertex form. So it's my clues that I need to factor this equation, and I also needed to put it in vertex form to see if either of these ones are equal to it. So let's look at the equation. The equation says y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 16. I can see that the greatest common factor is 2, so I am going to take a 2 out of everything. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so now it's just x squared. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so now it's 2x. And negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. Let's see if that's the answer to the first one. It is. So that's one of the answers too. I am also going to look to see if the second one, if I factor the inside of that, if it will equal x plus 2, x plus 4, x minus 2. We can use our AC method. A is 1, C is negative 8. So A times C is 1 times negative 8. Negative 8. Two numbers that multiply together to be negative 8, but add together to be 2. Those two numbers are 4 and negative 2, because 4 minus 2 is a positive 2. So those are my two numbers. When I rewrite the inside here, I'm going to rewrite it as x squared plus 4x minus 2x minus 8. I'm going to just leave that 2 alone on the outside for a little bit, and I'm going to use my grouping method now. Group my first two terms together and my last two together. My greatest common factor in the first two is x, so I'm going to take an x out. X squared divided by x is just x. 4x divided by x is just 4, because those two x's simplify to 1. My greatest common factor of negative 2x and negative 8 are negative 2. I always want to take that negative out with it. So I'm going to take a negative 2 out. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. X is left over. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is a positive 4. I check. My insides match up. Awesome. So it's x plus 4 and then x minus 2. And that 2 I took out at the beginning comes right on down and gets put in the front. Y equals 2 times x plus 4, x minus 2, which is actually also B. Okay, now we're going to see whether C or D match up to my quadratic up top. I'm going to rewrite it down here so we have a little more room. First step is I need to find the vertex. So I find the h of the vertex by doing negative b all over 2a. My b is 4, so negative 4 all over 2 times 2, because my a is 2. Negative 4 divided by 4 equals negative 1. My h equals negative 1. And then my k I can solve by plugging negative 1 back into all my x's up top here. Because remember, my vertex is hk, which is really just xy. It's just a fancy way to say hk. Or it's a fancy way to say xy. So if I plug my h back in, or my x back in, I'm going to get my k, which is my y. So 2, negative 1 squared, plus 4 times negative 1 minus 16. Negative 1 squared is a positive 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 minus 16. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 4 minus 16. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Minus 16 is negative 18. So my k is negative 18. My vertex form is f of x or y equals a x minus h squared plus k. My a is 2. We already know that from the original. X minus my h is a negative 1 squared. My k is a negative 18. Now I'm just going to simplify it a little more. 2 negative negative makes it a positive 1 squared minus 18. They use y, which is fine. I changed it by accident. So y equals 2x plus 1 squared minus 18, which is my C. So those are the 3 answers to go with number 11.